Free Draw is supposed to be an innocent family-friendly drawing game on Roblox. This is probably my best work yet. Wait, what? Oh no, I got mugged. So why are people saying do not play Roblox Free Draw anymore?
Leave the Free Draw Discord server, unfavorite the game, and stop playing it.
Well, it turns out that the owner behind this game was exposed as one of the most despicable people on the Roblox platform. And this all happened because they made a mistake so bad that it's absolutely ruined their reputation and even led to the sharp downfall of their Roblox game, possibly forever. So what on earth is even happening? The entire situation begins with a YouTuber by the name of Fully Gruely. Now, as you can see, he is a very talented artist that makes Roblox drawing videos. I mean, you can probably already tell by his thumbnails alone that he's insane with it. And one of the games he plays on his channel used to be Free Draw. Now, I say used to because a month ago, Gruely dropped this absolute bombshell of an exposed video titled "The Roblox Free Draw Situation is Disgusting." But what even is Free Draw? Well, it's apparently one of the best drawing experiences on Roblox.
For those who don't know, Free Draw is a Roblox game, and it's pretty much the best place to draw on Roblox. The line art is clean, you get a lot of layers, and you can even save your drawings and pull them back up for later. For a lot of people, it's the premier game for chilling with friends and drawing together on Roblox.
And the numbers back it up, with over 300 million visits and 30,000 members in their Discord server. Now, keep this Discord server in mind because it will be important for later. Something else that's important is to hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 20k before the end of the summer, so subscribe. Now, as you may already know, Roblox is an incubator for files of the PDF kind, and many of these PDFs create Roblox accounts specifically to interact with innocent children. That's why it's exceptionally important for games on Roblox's platform to have the proper moderation in place to prevent these PDF files from infiltrating their games and communities. However, it seems like the owner of Free Draw has some very concerning opinions about this. This is Nicole, also known as Rezalim, and she is the owner of the game Free Draw. But with a past username like this, it is simply a foreshadowing of the absolute insanity going on with this situation. Because unfortunately for her, the moderation team of her own game began exposing her. On May 13th, 2025, a former moderator named I Eat Rocks dropped a massive announcement on the Free Draw Discord server with links to a Twitter post. Unfortunately, these were quickly deleted by Nicole. But in this tweet, they said that Nicole had come out with a new policy on Free Draw. Now, for a drawing game, it would be normal to assume this new rule had something to do with drawing, like no drawing on other people's drawings, or like no drawing offensive things. It turns out that Nicole's new policy was to allow reformed files to be allowed back into her game, and all severe cases that would have been permabans is now appealable with a timed ban instead. This is absolute blasphemy.
This effectively allows anybody and everybody to have a second chance and be unbanned from the Free Draw community. However, this all takes a disgusting turn when you realize that when Nicole says she wants everybody to have a second chance, she means everybody. Yes, that includes the people who've been banned for drawing in a children's game, people who've drawn and proven child. Essentially, the owner of Free Draw wants to let quote-unquote reformed who have already offended back into their art game full of minors.
Now, why would she ever think this would be a good idea? Well, according to Nicole, we would feel it out and make sure they aren't a risk to the community anymore. Everyone can change. Bro, this is like pulling up to a prison, getting every criminal who has done something so despicable that it results in being sentenced to life in real life, feeling them out, pause, and then letting them all back into society. Except, replace all the criminals with online bloods and release them all back into a digital playground full of children. That's essentially what Nicole is doing with this new policy. But we gotta give her the benefit of the doubt, because maybe like she wasn't being specific enough.
Repeat offenders can get increasingly long times.
Including Naka?
I don't know who that is, but including them, yeah, sure. Yeah, anyone can change.
And even when her own moderators were retaliating and saying that they were literally going to quit, Nicole still doubles down, saying that they lacked empathy and that there were no bad people, only bad decisions.
Said can change. No bad people, guys. Yeah, right.
They can. Racists can change. The worst people you can possibly think of can change.
And when the moderators brought up that they could not morally appeal the inappropriate things these disgusting people were doing, Nicole seemed to give no other reason aside from the policy is going to be changing whether you like it or not. But why does Nicole even want this policy to happen? I mean, it doesn't take an absolute Einstein to realize that letting these nefarious individuals back onto your children's game is just not a good idea. So why is Nicole so adamant about making this policy? Well, one theory stems from the fact that former Roblox YouTuber Kaneko Kitten Kitten is actually one of her close friends. If you don't know who Kaneko Kitten is, he was caught talking to minors in an inappropriate manner, which he admitted to himself.
I was a degenerate, manipulative person a couple years ago, and I make zero denial or excuses for my actions.
One of the minors he was talking to was a YouTuber named Narpi, who Kaneko Kitten pushed a lot of the blame on.
In the document, Kaneko states that our relationship was very one-sided.
It was only until Narpi came out with an exposed video saying that Kaneko Kitten was also engaged in the conversation.
Not only was our relationship not one-sided, but that it was rather mutual, and it had went on for many months.
That Kaneko Kitten finally took some responsibility for his own actions and disappeared off of all social media platforms.
If Max ends up seeing this video by chance, I do want to say that I am sorry for it. I believe I am better suited to be offline for a long time.
And what makes the situation more interesting is that Nicole herself references this drama and says that Kaneko Kitten's cancellation, which was a result of the despicable actions he literally admitted to doing, was simply BS. So if she's close friends with these people like Kaneko Kitten, who are rightfully not given a second chance after they did something horribly wrong, it could be possible that she's trying to use her own game as a platform to push for change and give these types of people, including her Kaneko Kitten friend, a second chance. But after doing some digging into Nicole and her girlfriend's social media accounts, people found absolutely disgusting evidence that sparked an even worse theory, but we'll be discussing that later. Because first, what was the community's reaction to this absolutely insane new policy? Well, at least 6 of our own moderators quit, our remaining moderator gave the Discord servers permissions to ping everyone to everyone, and there were actual in-game protests in Freedraw announcing their disapproval about Nicole's actions. And because of Freedraw's Discord server now being completely open for anyone to ping everyone, ex-moderators were about to come out and expose the absolutely crazy things that were going on behind the curtains. First off, we got this insanity. This is Nicole saying that 1 year is enough time for someone's life to be completely turned around. A 1-year ban would be enough for even the most severe cases, like harmful imagery. And what's even worse is that instead of permabanning repeat offenders, they can just get increasingly long times. Alright, so here we got a user that was permanently banned off of Freedraw for drawing graphic images. This is excellent and seems like the right decision, right? A permaban. Well, apparently not, according to Jaspup, Nicole's girlfriend, who we'll be talking about later, because she changed these users' permaban to only 1 month. And Nicole has stated that Jasper is doing all the changes I've wanted to do for years, meaning that Nicole herself condones these actions. And of course, there was absolutely no check or verification to see if this user would commit the same offense. They were just let back into the game by the game's own owner. And of course, the screenshots only get worse. Here Nicole says, I hope you two can someday gain empathy for the people who have made mistakes in their lives. The fact that Nicole is willing to write off the possibility of a pedophile ruining a child's life as just a mistake is absolutely despicable and really highlights her character.
Children and exposing them to graphic is not a mistake. It's not something you can do accidentally. It is an unforgivable decision that only disgusting people make.
But of course, after all the backlash, Nicole finally put out a statement on her Discord server.
On the recent controversy, appealing a ban simply means a user can request a second review of their case. It does not guarantee that they will be unbanned. We will never unban users who have engaged in or any form of predatory behavior.
And this is just completely ironic because they seem to be handing out unbans like they're a water cup at a marathon. And these other statements are just completely untrue. Someone who drew this did not get a permaban because Nicole specifically set the ban to only 2 years.
It seems like predatory behavior to me. Why wasn't that permabanned?
So after all this community pushback, Nicole finally put out an apology.
My apology. I want to apologize for the miscommunication on my end from the discussion over the last few days. Being more transparent to you all about our policy and moderation. One of my biggest goals with Freedraw has been to make it the safest place it possibly can be for both marginalized people and the youth who enjoy it alike. We've always had some of the strictest, most active, and streamlined moderation on Roblox. And that's definitely not going to change anytime soon.
But the craziest part about this apology is that Nicole didn't even write it herself, and she doesn't even mean anything that was written in it at all. We know this because there was a mole that was hidden in one of Nicole and Jaspup's group DMs, and they found this. Here we can see Jaspup saying, I'm driving right now, I can make an announcement tomorrow, which we now know is the apology that Nicole supposedly put out. Technical writing and PR is what I do, which is basically Jaspup self-admitting that she's the one who wrote Nicole's apology. It wasn't even Nicole, bro. And to make matters worse, when this person Storm, who we'll be talking about later, says you should definitely consider taking more accountability apology, since it doesn't seem like an apology, Nicole just says, "I just don't really feel like I did anything wrong other than communicate badly." But after doing some research into Nicole and her girlfriend's social media accounts on places like Blue Sky, absolutely despicable things were revealed and made their intentions behind this new policy a lot more clear.
We did some digging into Nicole and Jess Pup's social media accounts. What we found was utterly depraved, disgusting, and evil. On Blue Sky, Jess Pup is openly mutuals with a furry art account that posts, reposts, and interacts with NSFW art of adult characters doing things to much, much smaller characters. A lot of those smaller characters happened to be wearing a binky and or a diaper. Also, there's NSFW art of animals. Truly satanic stuff. It's not just this one account. Jess Pup follows multiple accounts that draw. She even interacts with a lot of it. That mutual Jess Pup has that draws also runs an 18+ no judgment Discord server for baby furs. Jess Pup moderates for that server. If you don't know what a baby fur is, God bless your soul. To put it simply, if somebody tells you that they're a baby fur, they're probably trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor. There is a lot more up shit I could go over about what we found, but I'll spare you the details. Basically, I'm confirming to you right now that Jess Pup is in fact a Diddy disciple Gooner Goblin baby fur.
And the worst part is that Nicole knows what Jess Pup, her girlfriend, has been up to, because Nicole herself also has connections to these despicable accounts, and she and Jess Pup even live together. So it's no wonder why Nicole wants to tolerate these PDF files so much. Based on the evidence and connections, most of her close friends are exactly who she wants to give second chances to. And if you thought this situation ended there, you'd be wrong, because it only got worse due to even more information that was uncovered a couple days ago. Before Jess Pup, Nicole was in a relationship with an individual named Ashley, or Nico Lestiel. This is incredibly important because Ashley is a literal who likes and retweets content with little anime children. So, of course, what is Nicole's smartest idea to do with Ashley? Well, that would obviously be to put Ashley as a staff member for FreeDraw, essentially letting her have a position of power in a server full of children. This is probably the worst thing Nicole could have done with Ashley, especially because both her and Ashley were already both previously kicked out of a Roblox developer friend server after they had found out what kind of person Ashley truly was. Nicole didn't think about that, and that resulted in Ashley saying that she was having to a year-old in a FreeDraw staff chat, and allowing these kids to be staff members of FreeDraw in the first place is already concerning, especially if you think about the imagery and disgusting things they have to be exposed to as a member of staff. Here we can see these people saying they were, 12 years old and 16 years old when they joined the mod team.
Multiple child moderators were exposed to NSFW inside of FreeDraw.
We'd either need people to specify if a report is NSFW or add preset categories for reports.
Ooh, I think that would be nice, because sometimes I get jump scared by NSFW reports, especially out in public. What would we lower the age requirement to if that does get implemented, since I still don't want year-olds viewing that stuff?
It seems reasonable, with exceptions for mature and year-olds.
Mature and /year-olds should never be in the same sentence. These are literally high school freshmen and sophomores, bro. This was an absolutely questionable decision that Nicole should have never made. But what happened to Jess Pup? Well, she left the server, hopped back on an alt, and tried lying to everyone that she left the server forever. And of course, there was someone else on the team, just as nefarious. It all starts when a member named Zai, also known as Storm, brought up something very intriguing.
On June 28th, Zai starts the conversation with, "Since Fuli is making a follow-up video, I'm kinda concerned that Rox might have been through my DMs and got some dirt on me. I'm not exactly sure how to deal with that because I've definitely done and said some interesting things in the past. My ex was a lot younger than me, and it was 100% consensual, but I want to put a warning here just in case."
How old are you? Aren't you like a teenager?
I'm 19. It's legal here to date someone younger. It doesn't matter, but people in America don't like that.
You're good. Well, you're 19. There's no way the age gap matters at all. You guys are all like kids still.
Wait a second.
Now, that statement by Jess Pup on her alt ModPie, as Cordelia catches, is extremely hypocritical and self-incriminating.
By that logic, Jess Pup thought she was going out with a kid while she was 30. Seems about right considering she's a self-admitted.
Jess Pup doubles down by saying that's literally the age bracket where you could have met in high school, to which Zai clarifies the person was in middle school. Are you kidding me?
I'm more worried about the fact that my ex was and I was. I right here just admitted that when she was turning 18, she was going out with a year-old that was still in middle school.
That probably wasn't a good idea, but if you were Everyone makes mistakes, especially when they're teenagers.
When even Nicole herself admits that that probably wasn't a good idea, that's when you know you messed up.
Any reasonable owner of a kid's game would have banned this person on the spot right here and now. But all Nicole does is say,
Oh, you just made a mistake. It's okay. You were only... That probably wasn't a good idea.
Nicole, this person just admitted to you to being attracted to children and going out with a 13-year-old. That's not a mistake. That's pure evil. What the is wrong with you? You're okay with having a trusted member in your community be attracted to children in your community full of children? You can't just chalk up being a
As teenagers will be teenagers.
a 13-year-old is an actual child. Why is Nicole and Jaspup okay with this person moderating for their server?
And of course, once I revealed their absolutely predatory behavior, Jaspup's next logical decision was to promote them to an admin. And instead of apologizing or taking accountability, this trio instead decided to start covering up their tracks together, basically self-admitting to guilt.
Here's what Nicole and Jaspup said in private in regards to my video.
We already have the processes in place to handle this drama. The video will die down a lot by the end of tomorrow. Realistically, all they can do is regurgitate the things Rox has said. There's literally no more dirt they can find.
Here, Nicole admits that they scrubbed their social media so people can't see the art they are into. Not like that changes anything. We literally have all the damning evidence recorded and documented into a Google Doc.
And of course, their ideas of giving nefarious people a second chance have not changed one bit.
Our goal with new moderation stuff should not be to punish offenders, but make sure they don't do it again. I care just as much about the experience of people appealing as I do the experience of people playing.
And the most outrageous part is that all victimless bans should be appealable. So according to her, drawing despicable things in a children's video game is totally chill and appealable, as long as there aren't any victims. What kind of logic is that? And all of this being exposed has resulted in FreeDraw's game absolutely tanking. Alright, so we're on FreeDraw's game analytics, and as you can see, they now have 84,000 downvotes. Their like percentage has tanked. They're also being removed from people's favorites like every single day, and the amount of new likes to dislikes is absolutely insane. The red graph is all the dislikes and the green is all the likes, and the red graph is just absolutely mogging the likes right now. Yeah, this graph does not look good, bro. And creators and players like Fooly Grooly have moved to other games like Spray Paint or Draw and Donate as alternative art games.
Just stick to Spray Paint, man. It's the better game anyway.
So yeah, seemingly one person that got exposed basically caused the downfall of this entire game. Apparently they're also trying to dox Grooly, and Nicole herself even emailed Grooly her manifesto on why it's okay to consume the type of content Jaspup is into, because it can help with trauma. I don't think I need to say why this is an absolute insane statement. And the wildest part by far is that Grooly himself got permanently banned off of FreeDraw by Jaspup for misinformation. Jaspup and Nicole are totally fine with giving everyone, including people that recommit the same nefarious actions, a second chance, because people can change. But when it comes to Grooly, a person actively trying to keep kids safer in online communities like FreeDraw, their entire second chance logic goes out the window. People can change and we'll give them a second chance, but misinformation? Nuh-uh, no more second chances for you, Grooly. You get permabanned. I really don't think we can get a more ironic ending than that. So what are your thoughts on this absolutely insane FreeDraw situation? Please let me know in the comments below, and subscribe for more Roblox Explained.